My talk, it starts from that same feeling that both Chris and Steve have identified as feeling torn between Jain ways of knowing and scientific ways of knowing, Jain's way of experiencing things, and the perceived need from my part of finding a methodologically sound way of writing about this. So what I will be sharing with you guys is actually in large part how I ended up writing an article specifically with regards of how to talk about a specific application of Jainism that I had encountered. Then I'll give you guys a brief introduction to Jain Mantra Healing, which was what that article is about. And then I want to move our discussion towards the questions of methodology in this field that we're trying to sort of bring into being. Where I felt most torn was regarding the multivocality of the thing that I was researching and the way that I was going to go about writing about that. A lot of thoughts, a lot of ideas that are part of the Jain tradition can inspire people to do good, to bring positive change in the world. Which is great, which is what we want, right? It's what we want, but we need to really think this through. And then we as people in academia, scholars, how do we link this desire to inspire on a larger scale with sort of the typical scientific exigencies and scientific rigor that we do, that we do our work in? Should we do this? Should we link the two? Can we link the two? And then, assuming that we should and we can, how exactly do we go about it? This entire Bhaktaamar Stotra tradition has different parts and different layers anyway, starting from that 6th century text. What I encountered doing my fieldwork in London and in Belgium and in the US is that it has quite recently also developed a healing system. The idea with applied Jain studies is to look at ways in which Jainism can inspire positive progress in people's lives and the world. And from the testimonies, that is what Jain Mantra Healing is doing. However, then I was there looking at all these different narratives in these different sources, also including some doctrinal sources which seem to imply that, healing through mantras is not really a thing within Jain soteriology. So that is actually the point that I wanted to make. Very often when we deal with Jainism and ways in which Jainism can inspire people for the good towards veganism, towards a healthier lifestyle, towards environmental friendliness, towards sustainability, we will encounter, if we dig deep enough, and we will encounter tension and different opinions and multivocality. And we need to collectively, all those of us who said, "Oh, I feel torn," we need to really figure out how we're going to navigate this, how we're going to do this, how we're going to look at these different truth claims, at these different parts of the tradition, which may not always look at things in the same way, and still have some of that, or the idea that we started with, still convey some of that inspiration, which may cause some real good to happen, some real progress to happen in the world.